All right, everybody. Hey, it's Bug Eater 64, and we're doing. Uh, had a weird day, okay, with AirHauler for X-Plane, and as you can see, we flew the Cessna C208B. That's the new aircraft I was able to purchase, and we're back at 50% um, on my reputation. So we're gonna have to keep going though. Keep going. Let me give you a look here at my welcome page. Air America Duet. I own one aircraft. I got one base and got one pilot. Me. And my reputation is 50%. Now, before I can hire crew so that I can have AI fly some of these missions for me, then I have to be at 55%. So that's what we're working towards. Started today at $12,000 in cash. Now I have 44,578. So the day went okay. Unfortunately, something happened with my OBS, so I didn't have any of the original flight. So we're going to start this off with the landing of the first flight. We went from uh, St. Martin, Princess Juliana International Airport, and we flew 166 miles to Patia Airport, which is X64. Now, there are 0 buildings on this airport, so one, it was a little bit hard to find. Has no runway lights to speak of. It has end of runway lights. So, again, hard to find. Plus, we ended up in a rainstorm, and it rained all day. So, going to start off with this landing, and you can see the aircraft hydroplaning. That's how much water I had to deal with, and it was a hard landing. Not one of my best, but we got in safe. We unloaded our cargo. Then we loaded up cargo to take back to Princess Juliana. That's when we're going to pick up the last flight. That was the last flight of the day. It's a night flight, and you'll get to see it, and we'll do it. So, with that, let us go ahead and get started. Glad you came. Hope you enjoy it. I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope you do too. So we'll see you on the other side. Goodbye for now. All right, everybody, Bug Eater 64 here, and we're getting ready to do the return trip from Patia, which is X64 on the island of Puerto Rico. The runway doesn't really have lights. It's got end of runway lights. So um, luckily we're just flying out of here. It's still raining, but we're going to head back to St. Martin and Princess Juliana International. So let's get in here and get with our air hauler and screen and get going. So here we are, and we've got the aircraft loaded with our payload, 498 pounds of flowers, and we've got fuel, for plenty of fuel. So let's get back to X-Plane and get out of here and start the flight. It's going to be a night flight, so hang on to everything and let's go. So here we are. Alright, don't need to see me. Okay, so let's get things started. Get some power. And let's see if we can't fuel's on. Alrighty. Let's get the engine started. Starting up. Usually helps if I put my headphones on so I see what I'm doing. Alright, let's turn on some lights here. Alright. Go ahead and get them. So we're good to go there. Let's get the avionics on. Get our return flight set up. Invert that. And we are ready to go. So, flaps set for takeoff. Alright, everything's looking good there. Brake off. Get out on the runway here. Yep, taxi and takeoff. Crosswind takeoff, so this should not be a problem. Alright, let me put the brake on for a minute and get our trim set up. Okay. Okay, looking good. So we are all set. RPMs, full rich, brake released. into the rain. Good. About at cloud level.
To me in my sober mood, when I ramble, sit and think. And here's to me in my drunken mood, when I gamble, sin and drink. When my flying days are over, and from this life I pass, I hope they bury me upside down, so the world can kiss my ass.
All right, everybody, I'm back, and we got about 10 miles to St. Martin and Princess Juliana International. So let's get this thing landed and call it a day. Alright, 9.1 miles. You can see the airport off in the distance there. Looks like maybe we're going to get a reprieve from the rain a little bit, enough for us to maybe get this landed. I tell you what, the landing in Puerto Rico at Patia, with all the rain and everything, that was a rough landing. Did a lot of hydroplaning, so hopefully we won't run into that here. Otherwise it gets real sketchy if I've got to use the reversers to stop. So, but we're getting there. Seven and a half miles. So, even with the weather, we've had some pretty heavy headwinds, though. Kept my airspeed way down. On the way to Patia, we were traveling, with the exact same settings I've got now. We were traveling at 135, 140 knots, and this time on the way back, we're going about 120 knots. So big impact, but everything was fine. Alrighty, so with that, aircraft is mine. Gonna start slowing down. First degree of flaps. Oh, I don't want any more rain. Three and a half miles. Second degree of flaps. Two and a half miles. Full flaps. let's clean up the aircraft. Okay. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and shut that down. And with that, let's go ahead and alright, and we will unload our cargo. Job completed. All's good. Alright, very good. So, let's go ahead and take a look at our welcome center. So we're back to 50%. That's good. And we made a good chunk of money. We started out with 12,000. We're up to 44,000. So, that'll do her. Alright, so let's exit AirHauler. Alright, there you got it. We completed the missions. Rained most of the time. Pretty good landing here at Princess Juliana, back on St. Martin's, our home base. And so everything went well. Made a nice bit of coin for the airline. And what can I say? Not a bad day at all. We're back to 50% on our reputation. So things are looking up. The business is coming along. We're going to keep trucking so that I can get hire a crew, and then that makes life even more easy, and I'll show you some of that when we get to it. So until next time, this is Bug Eater 64. Glad you came, and as always, safe flying.